Now that is one dreamy sandwich, my friends. There's crispy fried shrimp, there's pickles, there's hot sauce. This is my Asian version of a fried shrimp po' boy. Asian-ish? Asian. Sort of Asian, like me. half and half. Anyway, okay. Okay guys, I'm not gonna lie, this is quite possibly like the best sandwich I've ever made. I know, big call, but I'm calling it now. It's really good. The thing that makes it so special though is one, the pickles that we're gonna make now. Two, it's that crispy beer batter on the shrimp. I mean, it's really, really good. It's really crispy, it's really great. I can't stress it enough. Anyway, let's do the pickles first of all. So this is like a really quick kind of pickle situation, and it's actually traditionally a very Thai kind of mixture to make. In Thailand we call it ajat, and we serve it with satay, chicken satay, lots of different things. So that's the origin story for the pickles. You want to start with some sugar. Now I want some vinegar in here as well, just plain old white vinegar, and a pinch of salt. Now you just want to get that on some heat and just let that bubble away until that sugar has dissolved. So we'll come back to that. Let's do the vegetable part. So I'm going to start off with some cucumber. And I want a shallot here as well. I'm using like a French eschalot today, but if you could get like little red Asian shallots, that's cool too. You could even do red onion as well, actually. And then some red chili as well. Now that sugar looks like it's dissolved. So you just want to pour that on top. Just a bit of a mix. And just let that sit there. It really doesn't need long at all, just while you're making everything else, and it'll be good to go by the time we're all done. All right, so let's talk about batter, guys. This is like a crucial part of how epic this sandwich is. It's all about the crispy. So what you need to do is start off with some plain flour, all-purpose flour. Now we're gonna add some baking powder, and just that little bit of baking powder is gonna help everything kind of pop, explode, and get crispy in the hot oil. Now I'm gonna cut this plain flour with some corn flour, and that's corn starch if you're in the US, but the mix of the corn flour and the plain flour, I think, keeps everything lighter and crispier. Again, it's all about the crispy. And we need a healthy pinch of salt here as well. Let's give that a mix. Okay, so the next bit is beer, and it needs to be cold beer, because what we're trying to do here is keep our batter as cold as possible so that when it hits the hot oil, you get that immediate reaction, that kind of explosion, which is what keeps everything crispy. I need another word for crispy. What is another word for crispy, Dax? Crunchy. This is a friend of mine's beer, actually. It's really good. It's from South Australia. Not sponsored, but I just like it. So pour your beer in. Give that a mix. Now we're kind of going with a bit of a like tempura kind of vibe here, and with tempura, you know, you're not really worried about the lumps. In fact, the lumps kind of help with more of that kind of explosion bubbly thing kind of going on, so don't worry about that at all. And actually, to make sure this is really cold, I'm gonna add some ice cubes in as well here, and the liquid from the ice actually is gonna help to thin the batter out a little bit as well, because of course I want a really thin coating here, not a really thick, heavy kind of batter. Now I need some corn flour here as well. So what you need to do is grab your prawns. By the way, in Australia we call shrimp prawns. The US, I think you have prawns and shrimp, but anyway, we call everything a prawn. But anyway, I think I've been doing half and half for this video. I don't know. Okay, so grab your prawns or your shrimp into the corn flour. So this first bit is just making sure that our prawns get really nice and dry so that the batter will really stick to each little bit. Now you want to make sure your oil is nice and hot, and just tap off some of that excess corn flour and then into your batter. Okay, prawn goes straight into that hot oil. Now don't overcrowd the pan. So too many prawns in there is going to drop the temperature of the oil, which means you'll get a soggy prawn and not a crispy one. So there is method to the madness. Now these need all of maybe like 2 minutes. I mean, we haven't even been 2 minutes yet. Look at how golden and lovely these are looking. Delish. I love frying things. It's like my favorite thing. Okay, these are looking good, and just pull them out. Oh, look at that golden, crispy batter. I mean, it's just perfection. Now, anything out of hot oil loves salt, so just give those guys a little bit of salt there. Now see these little bits in here? Now they're too good to throw away. Just scoop them out and season them with a bit of salt, and they're nice like crunchy bits to put on at the end. Optional, but good. Okay, so now we're ready to talk about bread rolls. Now this is a classic, a po' boy is a classic sandwich from Louisiana, and there typically you have like these crusty, beautiful crusty bread rolls, really fluffy inside. So you're kind of looking for that like nice, soft, crusty, fluffy situation. I have these ones. I'm just gonna cut into here. Now this is how I like to do the construction. So a little bit of iceberg lettuce, really finely shredded. Some of your amazingly crispy prawns. Now some of you might be going, she left the tails on. Okay, for those people, don't be a hater. I love prawn tails. You can totally leave yours off if you like. So there you go. My mum is Thai, I'm half Asian. We like to eat the tails. Okay, so I'm gonna pop this in with these cute little baskets here. And let's get in with these pickles. So just want to kind of like squeeze off as much of that liquid as possible. Get lots of the cucumber, lots of the chili, some of the shallots in there. And now hot sauce. All right, so I am using my coconut sriracha. I love this guy. It's spicy, it's tangy, it's just a little bit kind of sweet with the coconut, but you can go with whatever hot sauce adventure you love the most. That's looking really good. Just a bit of coriander to finish off. You can use spring onion if you're not a coriander fan. Okay guys, so I mean, I don't even know what to say right now. This thing looks ridiculously good. Heaven in a sandwich, heaven in a plate, I don't know. I'm so crazy in love with this sandwich that I can't even think straight right now. One final little like optional thing here, but remember how we talked about those little bits and pieces from the hot oil? Okay, so I've tossed them with some salt, and now we're just gonna like sprinkle these everywhere because they're crunchy and good and salty. Okay, I think there's only one thing to do here, and that is get in here and eat. So good, so exciting. That is so ridiculous. I mean, the crispy batter is epic. You guys need to make this.
If you've got any comments or questions, pop them below. And if you enjoyed the video, why not hit that subscribe button plus the little bell one, and that way you'll get notified every time I release a new video. Thanks guys.